Hi guys, and welcome to Escape Wheel Watch Reviews. My name is Steve, and today we're looking at the AddiesDive Submariner Homage. It doesn't really have a model number or anything like that, but yeah, I think you kind of all know what this is. I picked this up during the 11/11 sale for $33. So let that sink in. $33 for a Quartz Submariner Homage, and it comes on a stainless steel bracelet. It has a sapphire crystal, ceramic bezel insert, screw down crown, screw down case back, a Japanese quartz movement, and 200 meters of water resistance. So $33 is just a killer deal. But obviously there's going to be some setbacks, some drawbacks, some cost cutting, and we're going to kind of point all that out throughout this review. So this watch does come in a couple different colorways. You have the black dial with the green bezel, you have an all black, an all blue, and an all green. So you do, and it does come on stainless steel or rubber, or I believe NATO as well. So just keep that in mind throughout this review. And yeah, I think, is this the best quartz watch you can buy on AliExpress? Is this the best quartz watch you can get under $50? Probably. Let's dig in. Let's find out. So first things first, dimensions. This should not come as a surprise. It is 40.8 in diameter, 13.2 millimeters thick, 20 millimeter lug width. You have an overall length of 48.2 millimeters. So it is a typical Submariner style case, Submariner style dimensions, all that stuff. I believe it's the same case as what you see on their automatic versions, just toned down a little bit. And yeah, I do like it. Obviously sits a little flat, but that's kind of what you expect with this case, right? I'm going to go outside right now and throw it on my wrist for you. And here you can see it on my 7.5 inch wrist. It's kind of a cloudy, gloomy day today, so yeah, just not going to have any sun for you, but it does look really good. No anti-reflective coating on the crystal, but I don't really think it needs it. And I mean, it just looks really, really good, especially on this rubber strap here. I'm going to be leaving a link for this strap in the description. Be sure to grab it, because I think this works awesome on it. Yeah, I'm not going to throw this on any other straps. I don't feel like these sub cases look good on any other straps. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it as is, and we will get back to the review. So getting real close and talking about this case finishing, you have a vertical brushing on the top of the lugs here. You have polishing on the sides, polished crown guards, polished crown, which is unsigned. The opposite side, you can see it's all polished as well. And I think it's, for the price, I think it's fine. It is a little bit worse than the automatic version. It's not up to par with, say, Pagani design. Definitely not up to par with San Martin, and I will show you what I mean right now. So the brushing, I think, is fine. Yeah, the brushing, they did a good job on. The polishing, though, hopefully I can show you. So here, look at the transition between the dark and the light on that polished surface. You can see all the little peaks and valleys, and that kind of runs through the entire surface of this watch. And it's something you can see and you can notice even when it's on the wrist. It's just not good. Not good at all. But it's $33, so what do you really expect, right? The case back on this, it is a screw down case back. You have circular brushing on the case bottom, and that's all done nice and tidy. I think I've got no complaints with it, really. Even with the kind of weird polishing. Yeah, I think for $33, it's finished just fine. Let's talk about the bezel on this. So it is a 120 click unidirectional bezel. I'll let you listen to it here. So it is very loud clicking action, very snappy, pretty smooth. You got enough grip on this. I think the resistance is just about right. And yeah, I don't see too much wrong with it. As far as the action goes, you can see the alignment is definitely off just a little bit. So you can even, yeah, it just doesn't line up quite right. So that's one knock right there. It's not horrible, but it definitely could be better. The bezel, I'm going to just show you guys. So this thing it's got lots and lots of slop in it. I can feel it moving up and down slightly. When I press on it here on this top part, you can see it actually bounces a little bit. So it's definitely pretty sloppy, but again, $33. And I think the biggest comparison to this thing, as far as the price goes and the specs, is the Casio Duro. So I'm just going to kind of talk back to the Casio Duro. It has a much nicer bezel action, more solid feeling, and better polishing on it. So yeah. So the bezel insert, like I mentioned, it is ceramic, and it is filled with BGW9 Lume, which is nice to see. All the markings are done really nicely. I see no paint spillover, nothing like that, no weirdness with it. Even that Lume pip looks pretty much spot on the middle there. So nicely done. It is kind of that raised Lume pip like you see on some sub homages. I don't really like that, especially when it's a fully lumed insert. I don't get the point of that, but yeah, it is what it is. So as far as the bezel finishing goes itself, you have a polished edge on the top, you have a circular brush on the bottom, and then all the little scallops, usually they're polished, but in this one they are kind of a brushed finish. So it doesn't sparkle as much as some of these sub-homage bezels do, but it does give a little bit of bling with that top edge being polished. So let's talk about the crystal on this. So we have a mineral crystal. It's just a flat mineral crystal. Mineral cyclops as well, which is not surprising at all. I expected it to be mineral. You do have a lot of blue AR on the cyclops here. That cyclops does do a pretty good job of magnifying the date though too. Yeah, it's aligned nicely, centered nicely, and does a good job magnifying. So I'm okay with the cyclops on it. And the crystal does sit just ever so slightly above the ceramic bezel insert. Pretty nice crystal. It doesn't distract too much. Reflections are pretty minimal, I think, for what it is. And yeah, I'm overall pretty happy with it. So I think the star of the show on this thing is the dial. It is an absolute beautiful dial. It's glossy black, just deep inky black. Looks really good. You got the AddiesDive logo at the 12 and Divers 200 meter at the 6. The printed mid-track is done really nicely. It's centered in there nicely. All the indices, really nicely done. I'm quite impressed with the dial on this thing. I don't know if it's lifted straight from the automatic version. I don't think it is, because it has a frame date window. See if I can show you here. So it does have a frame date window. Yeah, it's actually done pretty nicely. I can't believe this dial comes on this watch. I'll say that. Much nicer than the Casio Duro. And even the hands on this thing, they're pretty nice. They're a little bit short, as you can see here. Doesn't reach out to the minute track. Same thing with the second hand. But you know, they play with the light nicely, I think, and nicely polished. Yeah, it's fine. It's nothing special with the hands, but I think the dial is really the star of the show on this thing. And also the Lume. Again, comparing to the Casio Duro, unfortunately I don't have one, but this thing absolutely blows away the Casio Duro as far as the Lume goes. It doesn't quite hang in there as nicely as some of my other watches, but it does do a really good job, especially for $33. It's the best watch I've had for 30 bucks. So let's talk about the movement in this thing. So this is a quartz movement, as you can tell with that ticking second hand. You do have a screw down crown, which is nice threading, and you can see there is a little gasket there as well. So that 200 meters, it shouldn't be a problem. I'd take this swimming for sure. Worst thing that happens is you're out $33. So yeah, so you do have a nice screw down action to the crown. The first position lets you change the date. I don't know which way to turn it. There you go. Second position, hacks the movement, change your time, set your time, all that stuff. It's a Miyota quartz movement, so it should be reliable, should be very accurate, and it should be extremely cheap to replace. So yeah, 33 bucks. I have no problem with them using a Japanese cheap Miyota movement. Yeah, if you really want the automatic version, you can get that as well. So let's talk about the bracelet. So as you can see, I have this on a rubber B style strap. I will be leaving the link for that down in the description. It fits it just great, and I think it makes this watch so much nicer because the bracelet on this thing is not good. Not good at all. You can see here it is a brushed on the outer links. You have polished center links. You do have solid end links and solid links, polished on the sides, push pins for adjusting. The clasp is your typical steel dive, just press clasps, nothing fancy. You can get a cheap replacement for that. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of flex in it. You do want a little bit of flex in bracelets, but I think this is a little extreme. But yeah, you can see, you know, you do have some of that weird pin spikes and stuff going on with the polishing here. I'm just not impressed with the bracelet. I didn't expect to be impressed with the bracelet. It's obviously nicer than what $33 will get you elsewhere. But yeah, it's just nothing fancy. And if you want a nice bracelet, I think the Pagani design oysters, they do fit this case pretty well. So I guess just get one of those or get something else off AliExpress. But yeah, that's just the bracelet. Sorry, I don't have it on the watch. I never planned on using it on the watch. If you do want to see some more information about this bracelet, I believe it's the same one that's on the Steel Dive sub, so I will be leaving a link up in this corner here for my review on that. You can jump right to the bracelet section on that one. So yeah, don't expect the world with this bracelet. I'll just say that. Just a lot of flex, a lot of jangle, and just overall not great. But $33. So there you have it, guys. That is the AddiesDive Quartz Subby Homage. Really, for $34 or so, this is going to be a great beater watch. Maybe I'll give it to my dad because he's been complaining about his watch lately, so we'll see. I do really like the look of it. I think the dial is definitely the star of the show. The Lume is excellent for what you're getting, and yeah, it's overall, I mean, $33, you shouldn't really not get this thing. I think it's that good. So if you are interested in this now, I will be leaving a link down in the description. That's where I picked it up from. I believe the retail price is like $45, but like I mentioned, I've seen it dip down to around $30. I picked it up for $33, and definitely worth every cent of that. If you guys want to see some more pictures of this, not sure how much I'm going to feature it on my Instagram, but I will leave the Instagram channel down below. Go check me out there. Definitely post my new incoming watches there first before anywhere else. If you guys have any questions or comments on this thing, do drop them down below. I love talking to you guys about this thing. Let me know if you're going to pick one of these up. $33. Why not, right? But yeah, I think that's about it. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.